Criminal investigation is a collaborative process, and behavioral profiling is one aspect of that investigation. We stress that regardless of the Hollywood image attached to profilers in recent years, they are not the ones who catch the criminals. What a good profiler can do, and we note that like every other profession they come in all degrees of competence, is either to refocus or redirect an investigation. We do this by studying the crime scene photographs, detective and evidence reports, medical examiner protocols, interviews with victims or their survivors and friends, and any other relevant data that can be supplied. What we try to come back with is a description of the unknown subject, or unsub, in police jargon, including sex, generally male, age, race, marital, educational, and socioeconomic status, whether he is a local or from somewhere else, and if local, where he might live, likely triggers or inciting factors for the crime, the types of behaviors we would expect to see post-offense, and strategies that might help lead to his identification and arrest. Depending on the nature of the crime and how it was perpetrated, one or another of these factors may be emphasized. But what we can't offer, despite the joking request we are often handed by local law enforcement agencies, is his name, address, and phone number. We'll describe the offender, we tell them, but it is up to you to identify him from your own suspect list, or go out and find new suspects based on what we tell you. Some years ago, when we set out to write our book, The Cases That Haunt Us, we wanted to take a fresh and objective look at murder cases that for one reason or another had captured the public imagination and that for one reason or another either remained unsolved or the subjects of ongoing and passionate controversy. We intended to do this by applying everything we had learned about behavioral profiling and modern criminal investigative analysis as practiced by the FBI's National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime at the Bureau's Academy in Quantico, Virginia. We took on cases from the 1888 Whitechapel murders of Jack the Ripper in Victorian London, up through the 1996 killing of 6-year-old John Benet Ramsey in modern-day Boulder, Colorado. One of the most intriguing, perplexing, and poignantly tragic cases we analyzed was the 1932 kidnapping and murder of little Charlie Lindbergh, the 20-month-old firstborn of the Lone Eagle and his wife Anne Morrow, the most famous couple in the world. It was not for nothing it was dubbed the crime of the century. Pressure to solve the case was intense. Police investigators initially focused on their belief in a small group of co-conspirators, but after a trace of one of the $10 ransom bills led to Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant carpenter living in the Bronx, evidence seemed to begin falling into place.